This is a show where personal movements are made and expressed without fear. A place where art can become the solution. I've always felt like being an artist makes one a master of communicating ideas. I chose to explore this deeper and ended up with a phrase that speaks to that purpose. Peace, family. You're watching Art with Intention, the show where we explore why we make the things we do.
This episode was brought to you by Reclaiming My Royalty. Tap into that golden idea that got you started.
Our next performance is going to feature a good friend of mine. She's been on the road doing her own thing with the Cookout. You can check her out online and every night on the Stephen Colbert Show. Ladies and gentlemen, with her special guest, Shenel Johns on vocals, please welcome Endea Owens.
Yes, they robbed I. They stole I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever have, redemption songs. These songs of freedom, oh, redemption songs. These songs of freedom. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. Oh, how long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever have are these redemption songs. These songs of freedom. All I ever have are these redemption songs. These songs of freedom, 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 freedom.
Peace, family. Welcome back. This is Art with Intention, and we're here with a special guest. Her name is Naiika. Sings. Naiika, what's up? How are you doing today?
I'm amazing.
All right, and what will you be performing today on Art with Intention?
My latest single, Together.
Where can people find this song, Together?
Everywhere. It is together for all the platforms. Apple Music, Bandcamp, Spotify, everywhere you can find music, you can find that music.
All right, so this is Art with Intention. What is the intention behind this song, Together?
To bring closeness and connection. You feel me?
Right.
You know, just because we're physically distancing doesn't mean we have to emotionally be apart from people. So let's get close. Like, music is the great unifier. So I really love that music could bring people around the dinner table, friends together, everybody.
All right, so you guys are gonna enjoy this amazing performance here in Art with Intention. Let's give it up. Naiika Sings.
How you doing, my old friend? Are you tired carrying that heavy load all by yourself? I got my two hands. If you need some help, we're stronger together. Stronger together. Oh, yeah. How you doing, my old friend? Are you tired of carrying that heavy load all by yourself? I got my two hands. If you need some help, we're stronger together. We're stronger together. Oh, yeah. Close mouths, don't give in. Open up your heart and let me in. All by yourself, that's an action. It will lead to satisfaction when we work together. We're stronger together. I need you to wake up. 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 We're stronger together. Ooh, yeah. We're stronger together. Ooh, yeah.
All right, peace, family. Welcome to the very first episode of Art with Intention. I'm here with a very special guest, Phantom Knoet. We met several years ago on a Capsulocity shoot, and she's here. She's about to perform with us. So, Phantom, how have you been doing? 2020 has been a crazy year. How does it feel from the perspective of you call yourself an orator? Tell me a little bit about that versus a poet.
An orator, better known as one with the gift of gab, the power to speak and use an oration in order to convict, to interact, and to engage. So, as opposed to a poet, where it's completely looked at, I guess, as artistic, I found a way in monetizing through education, through the church, and through literature. So not specifically just for art in and of itself, but with a specific intention, I'm using poetry.
Right. And I've seen many poets around New York City, places like Naiika and stuff like that. But you, as people are going to see from this getup, are like taking it to the next level. Can you tell me about some of the places your gift of gab has taken you? You've been performing at all types of different venues.
I would like to say that you asked this question is so cool because so many people just assume they know the venues where a poet would be. But some of the best places I've been, I was one of the first spoken word artists or poets to feature at Improv Comedy Club.
Okay.
And so doing the comedy, and I got an encore request. I had an encore performance. And so to do poetry or spoken word, where you have stand-up comedians, and I'm coming up behind comedians, and I'm performing. Some of my pieces have a very comedic nature to them. And so, so that was really great. Other places, strip clubs.
What's that like?
Oh man, it's so wonderful. I love it, because I'm able to keep my clothes on and speak the words that are, that most people actually are used to seeing visual. So the strippers are normally around me and they get naked, and I speak normally what they would dance and do, but they are just moving to my words. So that was lovely. It was a bit strange to pick up the money on the floor while I was doing it, so I decided to sort of wait until after I finished the poem to pick up the money. So that was something different, but I loved it. I really do. I'd like to go further in that too, and doing some type of videos. Now that we're in this sort of pandemic, we can't be in the club. I was thinking that was sort of add a whole nother layer to what I'm doing.
What has it been like for people within your community in the, I guess, somewhere between oratorical and poetry? Like where do you perform?
Well, spoken word poetry, performance poetry is a very strong community. And so I've been involved in the community for over 20 years now.
Wow.
And so it's like, I want to say it was like the type of community that was perfect for this time. Most poets there, people that I want to say outside of their families or the black sheep, so to speak. So they're travelers. They're used to connecting, food, water, shelter. We move internationally, nationally. There are safe houses, there's groups. And so we're still connecting. And so we're sort of like we got most of the poets got the calls, when they didn't know, March, April, and May, those were high times for poets to get the questions from the regular I say Joe Schmoes, like, what's going on? What do you think? You prophets, because they're sort of poets, it's sort of like prophet to them now. So it's been a pretty good time. I've been performing. There's a wonderful community called Lightning Society, and so I was able to do a performance there with a wonderful violinist. It's taken me into some really great communities now. There's just really a lot going on with it.
So you would say it's been good for you, despite certain closures and stuff, you found ways to perform and get your voice heard?
Yes, I believe I don't want to say better, but there's definitely more concentration. There's more of a concentration on what is being said, or what is it about this person that during this time where everyone is sort of faltering or trying to find themselves, I guess it would appear that someone like myself or others are blossoming during this time. And so I would say this, like yourself, it's
right. I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Because like we said, things are locked down, but we've also had a lot of time to look within.
Yes.
So with all that's going on from protests and the politics and stuff, has there been a specific message that has come to you, something that you're seeing that has been helping you say more than you've ever been able to say?
Say more. That has been my mantra. More.
Okay.
It's see more, say more, be more, do more. It's all about more for me. And it is in a time where I do feel we are more empowered, where we're able to see, or should be able to see, a lot more beyond the illusion or the marketing that is out there. If ever there was a time to look into yourself and see how you fit into this world, I think now is that time. The message is for everyone to really find the way to be your best self. I know it sounds cliche, but you have the opportunity now. And I don't believe it's going to be easier than now to get a grasp on life, on nature, and what each individual needs to go forward. I believe now is the time for human beings as a whole to see really where they fit in on this planet, what our goals and our trajectories are for humanity as a whole. And I think now we have that time, and we're going to be held accountable to it.
There was a time where it was very hard for, I guess, some creatives to even move an inch, to say anything. They needed time to rest. I want to know, did you go through that? And what advice would you have for people to get out of it?
Take a rest. I have been resting for the past maybe 5 years, taking really deep rests and moving at my own speed. So I wanted to say that I felt like this time I was preparing for it. So I would say this is a time for people to focus and to write, to journal, and to speak. Start with family first. Speak with your family, speak with communities, and really get to know what people know about you and what you know about each other. Like, now is the time to connect.
I agree. All right, so I just want to ask, do you have anything coming up that people can see, take a look at, and tell people how to find you?
Yes, I would really love it if everyone was to log on to phantomknoet.com, www.phantomknoet.com. Log on, check me out on Amazon.com, Phantom Knoet. I have books that are for sale, books of poetry, children's books. I also have a very, very, very lovely book about the woman who refused to be an algorithm. And it's my story over the course of the past 9 years of the path that I took that allowed a bank to co-opt my work, and what we call still a face or still an identity. So if you log on, you can find out about the face that refused to be an algorithm. You can support me and also find out where I'll be performing. Of course, I'm the Phantom, so you definitely have to keep track to find out where I'll be. Check out Brandon, find out where Art with Intention's happening. That's pretty much where it is.
All right, so you're about to perform for us. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to do. And I want to know the intention behind this piece. Like, what made you create it?
This poem was written during a time where I was really struggling as a woman, young mother, and going through the pressures of trying to be a single mom, unmarried, and all of the stereotypes coming at me. And so this poem is about overcoming, but, you know, before overcoming, you know, the fright, the fear, the anxiety, and all of that. So I tried to encapsulate all of those nights staring at the window and put it all, the crying, put it all into one piece, and then show that not we shall overcome, but overcame.
All right, so you're about to witness Overcame by the one and only Phantom Knoet. Check her out. This is Art with Intention. We'll be right back.
I am shaking, twitching, trembling like a leaf. There is a presence coming over me. My mind is blank and cluttered all at once. My once stable knees are knocking hard as I stand in the face of adversity. This controversy dares me to speak, but my jaw is weak. My tongue is feeble and my throat is dry. And the twitching of my eyes are unbelievable. I need an IV of Jack Daniels. This situation is one I never thought I'd handle. Now I'm caught in the thick of the scandal where I'm drawn to be the vandal. These are the moments serial killers are born. I hear the toot of the train's horn. Storming towards me, its rumble warns. I ignore. My mind devises plans only convicts understand. I am ready to die for this cause. I was born to die for this cause. I am ready to die for this cause. Hear me and hear me well. I will never commit suicide. So I decide that I will fight. I begin to throw with a vengeance. My psyche slashes ego's tires. My voice pours sugar in the tank. My fingers linger in brake fluid as I engrave an epithet on the hood. Here I stood, ready to end this ride, prepared to earn my pride. I once lied and said that I would handle things differently. But when that moment came to be, I allowed my mind to carry me. Forget my heart. It died from a pumping overload as stories were told of my eventual demise. Look back up to the skies because my hands tremble no more. I have no more shaking in store. I am no longer scared my knees will drop to the floor because my mind elevated. My position changed. My anxiety rearranged for a change. I faced my challenge and overcame. I overcame.
I want you to talk about why you chose We Shall Overcome and what led you to writing the song for the people.
Okay, so We Shall Overcome is a song that I've known all my life, since I was a young child. And with everything going on today, with the protests with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many more, it just seems like we're in a cycle that never ends. But if you have faith, like we shall overcome this, it's so much power in this particular song, and that's why I chose it. It brings hope, it brings faith, it brings a spirit of determination and non-ceasing. So that's why I chose that. And For the People is actually one of the first songs that I ever wrote. And I used to be really self-conscious about my writing, but something happened in the world. Trayvon Martin got killed. And it was really hard for me to think of how someone could kill an innocent boy, like while he was just holding a pack of Skittles. It made no sense to me. So that inspired me to write, because the police brutality affected him, but it affects my friends, it's affected me, it's affected my whole family, everybody, almost everybody that I know who is Black or POC. So that's why I wrote it, and I wrote it to spread love and to spread awareness, and I felt like the best way to voice my own voice was through music.
What brought you out to the protests and stuff like that?
I think that this time is necessary and it's full of purpose. It was really interesting being at the protest because you saw all types of people. You saw young people, people of color, you saw older people, middle-aged white people. Everyone was there supporting the same cause. And I feel like this is the first time since my lifetime, my generation, that we've all been able to come together and stand together and say, no more. This is it. This is not okay. And of course, it's only gonna grow, you know, and it's inspiring because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until something is done, and that's what I received at the protest. Even if it isn't planned out yet, as it will be, because I'm sure it will be, you know, it was like, okay, we can at least be on this same page together. And so that was hopeful for me, and being there with Endea was also just absolutely brilliant because we used our voices to the max. We were screaming and we were hollering, and we wouldn't let anyone rest because this is the point, right? The point is to get this message out, get it across, get to the neighborhoods where people are running from it or hesitant to make a stand. This is our job as musicians, as people that have voices, period. Even if you don't play, even if you aren't an artist, it's your job, right? It's your divine right, you know, your freedom of speech. So we used that, we activated that with so many other people, and it was incredible. It was so incredible.
And Endea, I saw you out in the streets too, and music was a part of the protests as well. Anything you want to share about what you've seen?
So a big thing for me, it was just such a moment, just such a powerful moment to see so many Black people being able and free to express their emotions. A lot of times in this world, we switch codes, or we're told that we're too loud, we're too angry, we're too this, we're too gentle. But at the protest, we were able to express ourselves fully
And that's something that we can't always do. And I think when George Floyd died, it shook the earth. Like, people are literally protesting around the world. And I felt like that everybody had that feeling like, oh, I have to do something. I have to get out there and I have to fight for all these people that lost their lives while we're still living. We have the privilege of life. We have the privilege of being able to breathe. So we don't want their lives to be in vain. They died a senseless death. They died not being around their loved ones. Like, the least that we can do is fight for them. Later on, I began to incorporate the music because I thought of things like Juve, and I thought about all the things that Black people did back in the day to really amplify the protests and do what we do naturally.
Right.
We fight, we love, we dance, we sing, we make music, we create. We're creative people. So it was just a powerful moment, and I am so proud to be one of the protesters, but the fight is not over. We have so far to go, but I think this is a big, huge step for us, even though it happened when we gained our independence, when we were in the civil rights movement, but now we're fighting for our humanity, which we shouldn't have to do. But this is letting the world, literally the world, know that we will be heard. Our lives matter. They matter. They have always mattered. And this is us. We're here. We're staying here. We are living. We can breathe.
Yes.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. I know that deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. Yeah. Someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall all be, we shall all be, we will all be, we must
And that was Art with Intention. We'll see you next time. Peace.